Here's the problem, dude. Like, the cycles can become detrimental to our long-term success because if you don't work on a real business model,
right,
you'll get busy again, and then you'll be making money, then it's going to fall off, and then you're going to be like, oh, what do I do? And it's like, you don't want to, how old are you right now?
40.
You don't want to be doing this again when you're 47, and then when you're 54, like, because it's going to keep happening, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, you gotta just get the structure going. You gotta continually work on it, you know? So like when the refi booms are going on, basically everything I'm teaching, I've compressed into my business model, and I've gotten that basically down into different segments throughout the week, but a couple hours a day. So like, let's just say that that's compressed from 8 to 10 o'clock every day, right? On Mondays, I don't take any meetings from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. So I do most of my, coaching, the stuff you're learning. I'm doing this stuff in that afternoon. Okay. Gotcha. So that fills the week. So basically from 2 hours of the day, I'm doing everything that we're teaching in the course. And then in the afternoon is where the business is at. Right. So like right. When COVID hit, refis got busy. We ran out of money. Remember, rates went to like low 3s, and then they went up to almost 6 overnight. Well, the banks ran out of money.
Yeah.
Then the Fed stepped in, and then rates went even lower.
Yeah, nobody remembers any of that.
Yeah. So what was interesting is when the Fed stepped back in, and then they made real estate agents an essential business. Mm-hmm. Because I was always working on this thing, including financial advisors and real estate agents, dude, I started getting randomly busy with real estate agents. They were like, holy shit, man. And like, while most of us were sitting around doing a bunch of refi and then we'd throw some purchases on top, I'd get in, I would lock my loans for my clients on refi, send them 3 options and say, take it or leave it. And you can switch on any of these products at any time throughout the process. But if you don't want it or you have questions about it, unfortunately, I got to move on. And like, I maybe lose 10 deals, but I'd be locking 30 plus deals every month. I'm talking maybe 10 the whole year.
Right.
So I figured out how to compress those refis into a 2-hour window every day. And then all afternoon, I was chasing real estate agents. Then in 2021, rates started creeping up. And I started to see less and less from real estate agents. And that's when everybody saw less in the refinances. They all went and chased real estate agents, as I'm already seeing real estate agents falling off a cliff, dude. And then I started getting really busy with financial advisors, dude. And that business just started going up.
Right.
So I took my energy in the afternoons then, and all I did was chase financial advisors because everybody was chasing real estate agents. And now I'm actually starting to see a really small tick up in cash out for debt consolidation refinances through my financial advisors. It's not big enough for me to allocate time in the week to go chase refis because I don't quite think they're there yet. I bet you February of this year, we're going to start to see demands on refinances once we get past the holidays, dude.
Yeah.
And I've already got a plan that I'm just going to go and chase refis, dude. And I posted a video in Slack about correlating debt to cost of money in people's eyes, where it's like, if you take a $100,000 mortgage right now at 7.5%, the payment's $700. Okay. So the cost of money is $700 per 100,000. That means $1 million, 7,000, 10,000 is $70. And I'm going to have an email or a video that says, hey, if you have debt of $10,000 or more and you're paying more than $70 a month, we should talk. If you have $20,000 in debt and you're paying more than $140 a month, we should be talking. And just take that from 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50. If you have $50,000 in debt, you're paying more than $350 a month, right? You get it. And if you have $100,000 in debt, car payments, student loans, and you're paying more than $700 a month, we should talk.
Right.
If somebody reaches out to me and they're like, yeah, I'm ready to go, then I'm going to say, no problem. I'm booked. Do me a favor before we get on the phone. Send me your mortgage statement, your credit card statements, your car statements, your student loan statements. Send me everything. Then I'm going to add up all the debt for balances, add up all the payments, look at that combined merged rate. And then I'm going to send them 3 options. If we refinance you and start the 30-year fixed over, you save $4,000 a month. If we keep the exact same payments you're paying right now and roll it into your mortgage, we can have your house paid off in 11 years, 12 years, whatever that math pans out to be. Or if you want to pick a payment between the refinance and what you're paying now, we can pick that payment and I'll give you that exact payment. So let's say they're paying hypothetically 10 grand. I can refinance them down to 7 grand. And maybe they want to go ahead and pay $8,000 a month. Then I just put $8,000 per month at the balance, at the interest rates, and then I calculate for the term. And all I have to do is pick the 18 years or something, right? You get it?
Right. Yeah.
But I've never talked about rate. I never compared mortgage rates to credit card rates because I don't even know my credit card interest rates. Do you?
No.
No. So why the would your client know that, right? And we're in the game. But I know what my payment is because I get the auto draft every month, right?
Right.
So it's just a little bit of a different approach, being ready to go after that market, but it's not quite there yet. But being segmented out into these 7 segments that we're going to start teaching, that's how you're going to be ready to see that business coming in without you having to figure out where it's going to come from.
Right.
Well before everybody else, you know. So you got through the mindset piece. Did you get into the branding piece?
Haven't gotten into the branding piece yet. No.
Awesome. So the purpose of your mindset, you're going to really be building on these 4 personal pillars of your life. Your personal self, your personal finances, your personal business, and your personal family. Mm-hmm. And the reason why you want to work on those every single day is so that you can clear the shit out of your eyes and you can see further down the road as to what you want to do with your life. But if you can't get those pillars fixed and you can't work on those small pieces, there's no way you're going to get there, right? It's like the guy that says, I'm going to be a billionaire and I'm going to have a yacht. And it's like, awesome, dude. What are you going to look like when you're on that yacht? Are you going to be fit? Yeah, I'm going to be jacked. Well, dude, you don't even go to the gym right now. So like, how can you get that far, right? Okay. So, and the reason why we're working on those 4 pillars is because, Josh, when we start to develop relationships with people, well, your brand is going to basically be you exposing yourself to the market as who you are, exactly who you are, and people need to learn to love you for that reason. And that's the gateway into your relationships. So you get your mind right by focusing on the better parts of life and keeping a positive attitude, blocking out negativity, high-fiving people for rates going up because you know that's going to open up market opportunity, right? Market share. And then now we work on your brand because we always forget to take care of ourselves. But here's a big reason why. You can be a chameleon with your clients that need a mortgage, right? The referrals. You want to be the old guy that does old. You want to be the young kid that's into young shit. You want to be that guy because these are 30-day relationships, dude. They're going to close on their mortgage and ignore you for 5 years.
Right.
And your 90-day and that checkups, it doesn't matter after 2 to 3 years because they're just going to kind of forget about you unless you have a reason to call them, which is market updates, and then you're asking for referrals. But so we want to be seeking relationships with referral sources that give us longevity because it doesn't matter what you do, right? We don't want to be known for being a mortgage loan outlet. We want to be known for having relationships with people. But if you decide to quit the mortgage industry and go do something else, you're just going to take all these people with you and still make money doing the same, offering a different product. And that's what we're focusing on. So your mindset's designed to build out those 4 pillars. So you're addressing them, growing them every day. Your brand is really who you are as an individual. People ask me, give me an example for you. I have 4 older sisters, 3 daughters, no brothers, no boys. The last thing I need is 1 more female real estate agent. I have absolutely no capacity, dude. I just don't. I run out of patience, man.
Yeah, I get it.
So I have 14 real estate agents. They're mostly men. Some are female, and the ones that are female come from different industries, like a financial advisor or something, and they're just basically retired.
Yeah.
And they just have a completely different mindset. So that's an example of me bringing my brand to the forefront. I know exactly who I am and who I'm going to get along with. That's the common sense of it. When you go out and start building relationships and you decide to do things with certain people and you're making these little subgroups. We talked about the subcategories, right? Making groups out of your people, 2 real estate agents, 2 financial advisors, consolidating those people together. Well, those are the people that you build events around. And when you do events, those events correlate back to the 4 things that you want to better in yourself. Okay. So if you have a group of people that like working out, hiking, walking dogs, whatever, do that. If you have other people that need to grow their business and they don't know shit about technology and you want to get better at leveraging technology to smarten up your day, go find a class on that, bring them to that. Same thing with financial advising and planning and, getting your life in order, go do something like that. And if it's a family event and you want to do something with spouses and stuff, go to a game or do something like that. But the better part about it is no matter what success you get with those people out of that event, if it's a success or it fails, you're still improving yourself. You're not just going to the bar to be a bigger piece of and have a bunch of drinks and waste a bunch of money not getting anywhere with people. You're setting the tone for what it takes to hang out with you, and you're always focusing on development. Right. Okay. And that's how that rolls. That's how all of this stuff rolls into your business. Okay. So did you upload some of the information into the course?
I guess not. No. I wrote some stuff down in my own journal, but I didn't fill out the are you talking about the journaling?
Yeah, it's up to you if you want to upload that stuff. But what I want to make sure it's that we're doing there is it's obtainable things. Okay. Like somebody wrote down, I want to be fit. It's like, great. How? I'm going to go to the gym 4 days a week. Fine. I'm eventually going to hire a coach to get my ass in shape because no different than our business. It's like showing up to the gym with all this equipment. There's a podcast room. There's a CRM database. There's a lead funnel. There's a bunch of real estate and financial. It's like, all right, I get that there's business and all these pools of things. How do I get the business? How do I tactically go through it all and win? Same thing at the gym. Like you show up at a gym, you've got all this equipment. Like, how do I leverage this to get myself the best results the fastest that I can?
Right.
Same thing. You're building out structure and you're retooling that. But as an example, I have a guy that's really fit going through the course. And he's got that on his personal self to be fit. I'm like, well, dude, you already did that. Like, scratch that thing off. What's next? Okay, what's next, dude? Right?
Right.
Okay. So just evolve that, work on it, make sure it's palatable, attainable, break it down, figure out little routes to success. And it doesn't have to be a ton of. You could start with one thing across the board. Because as you're nearing accomplishing those, you're going to add another thing, keep adding to it. And what it does is, again, it clears your mind to get further down that road as to how you want to kind of get that total global success. It really starts making those big goals. Like for me, I need multiple streams of income. I want to continue to do loans. I want to have the least amount of effort and energy I can into my mortgage business. I want a coaching business. I want to help guys change their future. I want to change the industry. I want to affect the ones that are around me. And I do real estate development. So I do all that stuff in this exact same amount of time that you have, right? So it's like, to me, and I talk to wealthy people all the time. And I have one question for them. I say, what's the one thing you wish you had more of? Extremely wealthy people that are out of shape 100% of them say, and I know it's coming, I wish I had my health. So it's like, all right, I can control that. I can work on myself. I just have to block time out. When I meet really wealthy people that have very good physiques and that are super healthy and eat healthy, look young, they're trying to reverse engineer life, I say, what's the one thing you wish you had more of? You know what the answer is every single time?
Time.
It's time. It's time in the day, dude. So if that's the one thing we can't fix, then what the is the excuse for all the other stuff, dude?
Right.
It just isn't. So it's time to really focus on yourself and make that a priority, and now figure out how to bleed that into your business for two reasons. One, no matter what you're doing, you're always improving yourself. Two, you're really setting up a different perception of the way that people think about you, and you're positively affecting their lives, whether it's monetarily or through some of your growth and some of the things that you want to fix for your life.
1 second there.
Yep.
Okay. I have a closing that was like waiting on this final inspection, and they're at the table, and I just got the final inspection. So I'm done.
Oh, nice, dude. All right. I would have probably tried to figure out how to do an escrow holdback and make it somebody else's problem.
Well, I wanted to, but it was structural.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let me. It's a long story. That kind of ties into like my message with just some like stepping back and removing my emotional part from the process and looking at where I'm at. And you may confirm this. A lot of people have said the first 6 months at a new company is the honeymoon phase. So
sure.
Everything gets done. It's all awesome. That's not the case. Like, this is meat grinder city right here.
Oh,
so
is it?
We've missed 3 closings because processor held it and stuff like that. And so I've like called all of the department heads. I've had conversations. I've explained like what's happening. And there's just a lot of friction for the changes that I'm trying to help them make. And it just kind of brought to my brain, I've been here since July 1st. The initiation of the move was because I was investigating a company in Chicago, actually called Federal Savings Bank.
Yeah, I know those guys.
And so I was talking to
Bernie
them.
Miller and Steve Koch, and I know all those guys.
Yeah, I figured you did.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine called me and said, hey, do you want to own your own branch? It's a P&L model. They pay a lot of money. You'll get paid on the front end as an LO, on the back end as a branch owner. Sounded amazing. It was not. There was some stuff happened at my previous company with leadership, and then my stepmom got stage 4 cancer, and just bills kept piling up, and so there's like all these things pushing, and we made a decision, and now we're here, and I'm trying to make the best of it, but it's that's kind of like my concern is because I've watched all of your videos now, as far as the YouTube content and stuff, and I've heard you talk about there was a certain point where you maxed out on what you could do, and then you had like the system wouldn't let you do any more. And I feel like where I could do a ton of business, but I wasn't getting paid anything for it.
Yeah.
And here, I get paid a lot, but I can't do that much.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know, and I'm not trying to like jump ship or anything, but I called Michael Corset, I think is his last name, at Federal Savings Bank, and just talked to him a little bit about that. I talked to a guy at Fairway, just because here's the thing. The feedback I've gotten so far is that this company's not willing to make any changes to their process. And so it's going to be very difficult for us to, we're in a very high anxiety, high stress market with everything. Every deal's tough, as you know. Everything's
It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter if every deal's tough or there's so many deals coming in the door. You need to give people attention. There's always something.
Yeah, but I just can't, like, the process that I'm trying to build all this on the back of is 100. It's got to be 100 years old. I mean, this is the way mortgages were done a long time ago, like before 2008. And it just blows my mind that they're still in business and they're expanding and doing all that kind of stuff. And part of it is the guy that brought me on came from Planet Home. And so he's got a big network of large branches that he's moving over.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going to get the expansion in the footprint. But the good news is that I've been really focusing on positive mindset, making sure that I'm solid with where I want to go and what I want to do. And I'm staying focused on connecting with people and communicating all my relationships, maintaining all of that, which has really helped through some of these challenges I've had. But now I've got to figure out what I'm going to do, in the next, I think I have to stay till January, but it's like figuring out, do I push really hard to try to get them to make these changes, or do I investigate something
here's the thing, dude. At some point, I figured this out at some point in my career. It could be a company change. You don't have the capacity to do that now. Why can't you go early? Because you have a clawback on a signing bonus?
Yeah.
How much is it?
40.
Dude, I can find you 10 companies right now to give you 60, pay them off, and we broke up there. Did you hear me?
I heard I could find you 10 companies to pay you 60.
and now the debt's gone.
Right.
So that's fixed. And I don't know how much time you invest,
Yeah, that's my concern.
On top of it too, it's like you could probably hire an attorney to basically fight, but the net's probably going to be the same as a prorated amount. Maybe there's a prorated amount from July to, you've got 3 full months in there, so maybe that diminishes down, right?
Yeah.
So in conjunction with that, there's such a gap between me and you and management, and that's always going to be there for the rest of your life.
Right.
It doesn't matter where the you're working, you're going to find problems. Let's look at, grab your calculator real quick. Yeah. On a $500,000 loan, how much can you potentially make now, roughly? Rounded to a good number.
Just on the LO side or plus the P&L side?
Yeah, put the whole thing together.
Okay.
As a rough number, dude.
$11.5, 2.3%.
Strong, dude. Okay.
1.5 on the LO side, then the 0.8 on the P&L side.
All right, so 2.3. We'll call 2.25 for simple conversation. And what were you making at the last company that wasn't paying you enough per deal?
At the end of the day, 0.75.
Okay. So we've got 2.25 plus 0.75, which is 3% divided by 2. So even making 1.5% is just stellar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're doubling your income on the same production.
Right.
Okay. So if I take 2.25 away from 1.5, you've got 75 additional bips. You 3x'd your margin. You were making 0.75, right? You've doubled up to 2.25.
Right.
So you've gone up 3 tiers. You can double your income with the same amount of work and you still have 0.75% in margin. What are you roughly going to do in volume this year? Rough number, dude.
Like 28 to 30.
Correct. Fine. Let's call it 25 million. Okay. So 25 million times 0.75%. Dude, you got $187,000 to hire somebody tomorrow and get rid of all your problems. You could hire 2 people and on top of it, give them $200 per file to do everything and be like, your number one job, hire a former underwriter and a former processor and team them up, dude, and get rid of all your problems, bro. All of them.
Yeah.
And the only thing you should be doing is focusing on a couple things, but never letting bad, crazy people into your pipeline.
Right.
Not worth it, dude. Hey, man, I'd love to help you. I just don't think we have the product here for you, unfortunately. But I might be able to broker it out, but it looks like the rate's 9.25. Is that something you want? You're crazy. Bang, gone. Good. Because that person will take 4 hours of your week every week until the deal closes and your energy's stripped and you can't grow. Okay. Second to that, when it comes to time for pre-approving people, all the hairs up front, right? Credit freezes, unfiled tax returns, credit blemish. If you get, let's just say our random DTIs are 55% Gubby, 45% conventional, 43% jumbo, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you get somebody that comes in with low credit and they need to go FHA, if their DTI's at 50, make them pay a bunch of shit off before they can qualify for a house. If they can come in conventional and your DTI is 45, if their DTI is 40, make them pay off debt to qualify before they can contract on a house. Same thing with jumbo. So when I get people that come in the door, FHA, conventional, jumbo, I put in their income. The first thing I do is reduce their allowable income because I'm not going to maximize it to make the deal work because underwriting is going to see it and go down. I'm going to reduce their income so that when underwriting sees it, they're like, oh, Josh didn't count enough income here. There's more. And then they update the income. What do? They move on.
Right.
But if I max out my income and stick it into underwriting, dude, I got like the underwriting worksheets coming out that on how they calculated income. But if I reverse engineer it, dude, they just bump it up and push it in. So clean your deals up and take really good 1003s, dude.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 people, one to collect all the paperwork and communicate with the other person. And the other person's responsibility is to perfect the file, cross-check the guidelines. Don't let it go into underwriting unless they've cross-checked it. And if it doesn't meet the guidelines, before it goes to underwriting, they tapping you on the shoulder, you're restructuring it, you're flipping it, you're locking it somewhere else. And if it kills the deal because you have to flip it, can let it die, man. Then when it hits that person, it goes into underwriting. And her job is to put perfect files on your underwriters and greasy wheel them, annoy the out of them until it comes out. And then when it comes out, look at it right away and say, why didn't you call me before you sent this out? I'm right here waiting for you. You have a question about a large deposit. Why would you suspend me? Just back it out. We have 10 times the assets.
Right.
Why did you suspend my file, put it back in my court to remove the assets to give it back to you? Why don't you just call me while you're working on it? I'm sitting here. Dude, you have $190,000 worth of usable income that you should give away to get rid of your problems and not teach your company how to be a better company. You are your company, dude. Be a company within your company. And you will find way more success because you don't need 3x the income on your volume, dude. 2x is a win.
Yeah.
If you went to 1.25, if you went to 1% on your volume, if you went up 25 basis points, that's a win, dude. You 3x'd your pool of revenue. Put it to work, bro.
Yeah.
Put it to fucking work, man. There are very hungry processors. You need former underwriters. And you tell them your job, you need somebody that loves challenges. You need people that like literally, what do you do on the weekends? I like doing puzzles. Perfect, dude. You're going to fit my business model. Excellent. You're interviewing for people that love problem solving. And your job title literally to them without putting it in writing is your number one job is to outsmart my underwriters. dude, all your shit's going to go away overnight. And
Okay.
then what you do is you grow them. And then you're like, if you know how to solve the problem without involving me, go ahead. If it's deal restructure, flipping, rate change, like, look, if you know that my DTI is a problem and you think we need to pay off an $80,000 car to get the DTI in line, why don't you just go pay discount points? Why don't you pay 2 discount points for 10 grand and buy the rate down and save the same money?
Right.
Just start getting, teach them how to be a little tactical, but be like, look, I don't need to get involved unless there's a big problem here. But if you don't let in the door, that's your only job is I am not going to let in the door, because if you put a toxic person in your pipeline, they're going to ruin your team's minds.
Yeah.
But if you block that out and you say, no way, dude, you're not coming. I can't. Unfortunately, I'd love to help you. I just don't think we have the product here. Or pitch them a rate that's too high, or, whatever that may be.
Right.
But don't let them take an application, dude. Because if they take an application, by law, you have to help them, dude. Okay?
Yeah.
But dude, just hire someone. Like literally yesterday. I got a girl that works for me. She's in the suburbs of Chicago. Since she's worked for me in 2018, I've known her my whole life, but since she's worked for me, never met with her face to face, not even once, dude. I don't need her. I put in the very best deals. Sometimes there's some hair on them. I'll email her. I'll be like, this is a family friend. This is what we're doing. This is where this thing's headed. I already know we're going to have to tell the client this at some point. Just get it into underwriting. Let's get a condition. Blame it on the underwriter. Hey, I wanted to help you, but the underwriter, whatever. But very rarely do I let in my, and when I do, it always fucks me, dude.
Yeah.
Me, right? It's you and your processor and this hypothetical underwriter. You're high-fiving each other because you crushed this challenging deal. And who's over there whining like a baby, dude? The guy that brought all the problems to the table that you fixed, that's all his fault, but you're the jerk.
Yeah.
And guess what, dude? You knew it was coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
But then you call your referral source up and be like, dude, why did you put that on me? Right? I'll get a referral source. It's a pain in the ass. I'll have a conversation. I won't let them take an application. I don't suggest the application yet. I'll hang up the phone and I'll be like, call my referral source and be like, dude, why did you send me that person? That was not what I do. Like, dude, is this your uncle? Like, do we have to help this guy? Where'd you find this guy, right? Question that shit. Question it, man. But yeah, dude, you're sitting on a gold mine. Just put it to work, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need a new company.
Okay. And I just don't, there's a knowledge gap there for me because I've never worked a P&L before. And my first P&L, and it looks awesome, but it's also scary. And I don't know enough about how to leverage, but I do have some interviews for processors next week because I'm using corporate processors right now, and I felt like that might be part of my problem.
You need an underwriter, dude.
Okay.
You need somebody that is skilled at problem solving. And then once you've got that, that's the first thing you need, because you know how to collect docs if you have to collect docs.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a loan assistant that collects all of my docs.
There you go. So when do you ask for loan? When do you ask for loan docs, hypothetically?
Upon application. Like so if somebody applies within a few hours, they're getting an email requesting documents.
On a purchase. And
if I talk on a purchase, and if I'm talking to them on the phone and they want to apply online or over the phone, whatever the case, I tell them the next step is get me all your documents.
So you have a loan assistant, right? You introduce your client, you tell them, I'm going to hand you off to so-and-so. I would change the name of that to your associate.
Okay.
Because it just sounds smarter and your clients are going to have a little more respect for that. I think we got a gap. It doesn't need to be on their job title, just in their email signature and their, just say, hey, I'm going to hand you off to my associate. She's going to reach out and start collecting paperwork.
Gotcha.
Okay. Then what she's going to do is she's going to go to my in-house underwriter, and we're going to look for any problems that we see before we go to the banks. Okay. So I have an in-house underwriter that checks our deals before we go to the bank, because the bank is the sign-off. Dude, just get yourself an underwriter.
Okay. I can do that.
The deal comes in, one person collects all the docs. That person should be smart enough to cross-check your pre-approval, clean the file up, organize the data in the right buckets. You're going to hire an underwriter to cross-check your files before they go to the banks. And I need you as an underwriter to help train my assistant, my associate, how to streamline loan files. Now, once that happens and your sales assistant associate gets better at that job process, now it's your associate's job to do milestone notifications and ask for business. So when you get into the current and past clients, and when you're going through the program, you're going to see scripting on when you touch base with people and how you ask for business. You and your sales associate are going to be going over that together. And then as those loans come through, you should get a report from your underwriter as to what deals are where, right? Every day at like 2:00, it's like, these 6 loans are still in application. These 2 loans are in underwriting. These 2 loans are out of underwriting, conditionally approved. These are back in. Just keep me updated on the pipeline, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I would find yourself an underwriter.
Okay. I think I can find one. I mean, there's a pretty major regional mortgage company in Tulsa that in the town that I live in, and they had a bunch of layoffs in the last 6 months.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question then. Let's just look at this, dude. Do 25 million at 2.25%. That's 550,000. How much of that would you give away to be able to put a file in and never hear about a problem again?
Honestly, half of it.
There you go, dude. I probably net about 52 basis points on my production. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing a lot of other things, dude. But you can't get the clarity you need in your life to get to that next level if you're in the trenches, bro.
Right.
And in order to get there faster, just scrape off some of that income. Just get it. Just because I can't tell you how many times to where you're at with your career and the stress and the fucking pushback and this, like, you're like, fuck, how much money I would have given away to make it all go away.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'll give up all this money just to not even be known as a loan officer again. Like, that's how stressful it was, dude. In 2018, I had 250 agents sending me business. And because I built relationships on being a sales chameleon and acting like the loan officer that I thought the real estate agents needed, I was like 250 different people, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody respected my time. People called me when I was holding babies, giving them baths. My grandfather was dead. I was getting taxed. Well, the world moves on. I was like, all these people, dude. And I just was like, dude, I stopped. And because it was my own fault, man.
Yeah.
And I just started over. I have 14 agents. That's it, man. They give me 40 deals. I'm good. The rest is past clients, financial advisors, new clients, my sphere. It's all that other shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just this is a really easy fix for you, dude.
Okay.
And I'd rather see you fix it and be the most profitable P&L. And then when everyone's coming back to you going, dude, how do you do it? How do you do it? Be like, hire me. Pay me 50 grand. I'll come in there and fix your shit overnight. But you're not getting this for free, dude.
Right.
And capitalize on that. Imagine doing 4 of those a year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Pretty profitable. Yeah.
Yeah. Another stream of income.
Just hire someone, dude. Yeah. Let's say you pay a underwriter 68. You could pay an underwriter. Just what I would do is I'd be like, look, job pays 80 grand a year plus $200 per file. But the first 3 months, you get paid 55 grand without a loan override or $50 a file. And if you outperform after 3 months, you go right up. I'll pay you 80 at $200 per file. If you don't perform, I'm going to take away the per file basis and cut your salary in half. Don't just quit. You won't have to fire them.
Yeah.
And then what you need to do is you need to have 3 different buckets. So flip your piece of paper over. Okay?
Yep.
3 different compensation models. The first one is $200 per file. In and out of underwriting in less than 7 days with less than 4 conditions.
Okay.
Next tier, $100 per file, in and out of underwriting, 7 to 5 conditions. In and out of underwriting in 10 days, $100. Last bucket, minus $50. I'll dock you $50 a file. In and out of underwriting, 7 or 8 or more conditions, 10 plus days in underwriting. You lose $50. People will quit, dude.
I like it.
And don't worry about anybody else, dude. We'll fix this all by ourselves. But you need to pay somebody. You got to get them compensated well enough to keep the drama. Your number one job is to keep drama out of my life.
Yeah.
And you want an underwriter who knows how to reverse engineer what the underwriter is going to ask for.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you found a problem on the deal and you can't solve it yourself. Do I need to get involved? Because I'm just going to call the client and ask them the same questions you're calling me, but I might fuck the question up because you had to ask me, then I had to turn around, then I had to go ask them, then I had to get my story back, turn around and come tell you. So why don't you just call them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me on the phone with you? Because do you think the client's going to be a pain in the ass? Because I don't let pain in the asses in the door. If the client doesn't want to work with you, you tell me, I'll call the client up and be like, bro, what the you need $500,000 and you're telling me right now that you can't cooperate with the people that are going to get us $500,000? I don't think you're serious about buying this house. And you know what I always say to people when they get frustrated? They're like, and I haven't had to say this in a while, but whenever people complain about service, I go, you know what? You're absolutely right. I liked you. I wanted to make sure we could get you a loan. I knew it was going to be a little challenging, but you're right. I should have never pre-approved you, dude. I'm sorry. Like, dude, you say something like that to somebody, they shut the up real quick, bro.
Yeah.
You know what, man? You're right, dude. I knew it was going to be a little challenging. I should have just never given you the pre-approval to buy a house. You should definitely still be renting. You hear that? Dude, that stings, dude. That's not like, yeah, my company sucks because we have guidelines and you need to fit into them. That's right. You brought this shit to us. Yes, man. You know what? You're right, dude. I pre-approved you. I really wanted to see a homeowner, but you're right. You probably should be renting.
Yeah.
They will shut up and be like, God, dude, I'm sorry, man. Dude, it changes it, man. So just, talk about this shit and get ironed out and we'll get it fixed, man.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. For sure.
We need to hire an underwriter.
Yeah, you do. Because then when somebody's like, she's like, nah, guideline says this. You're wrong. It's in writing. Go jam this up your company's ass and I need an answer tomorrow because you've been sitting on my file for a week. And I don't want to go to my manager because he's going to call your manager. And dude, the only conversations you have are like, hey, I've got this guideline and your underwriter's telling me no. How am I supposed to get loans done?
Right.
And now it's like you're questioning that person's integrity and if they know what the hell they're doing or not. But you didn't have to waste any time doing it. Somebody else did all that. They're like, they came to you with a loaded gun and they're like, here, pull the trigger. And you're just like, automatic, dude. Just like you didn't know it was an automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody else, dude. You're smart enough. We'll figure this out. You'll figure this out, dude. Yeah. I think you're probably in the right place. If you're getting margin like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to know how to use it. That's
totally, dude.
Because, when you come from a place where I worked for a bank and you get 75 bips and you've got this box that you fit in. None of this other stuff. Like, I can't hire people. I can't fire people. I can't do any of that kind of stuff. And now I can. I just never have. And so,
yeah.
But, who's going to stop me?
Exactly, dude. These are the problems that you've always said in the back of my mind. If I were the boss, I'd do this. Well,
yeah,
let's do it, man.
Now I'm here.
But you got to always remember, you got to have some type of compensation policy that hurts people when they don't perform so that they just automatically quit, dude.
Yeah.
100%, man. Awesome.
Nice.
Good. You'll see better tonight, dude.
Yeah. I'm going to put some words out on the street that I need some underwriters. As soon as I opened the branch, I got like 5 processor resumes.
If they don't have underwriting experience, don't hire them. You know why processors get fired? Because they want clean files. Dude, if you're not going to process, like, what am I paying you for? I can't tell you. It's like, because you're trying to grow a branch. Okay. I'm just going to ask you this question, dude. How do you get a guy like me doing 50 million to come work for you? Think about that, right? Because you got good rates and you pay a load of premium. Nah, dude, I don't care about premium. You're at the point where you almost don't give a about the premium.
Yeah.
So how are you going to attract talent? It's simple, dude. You come work for me. All you do is take an application, lock a loan. I'll do everything else.
Right.
I will do everything else. It is my job to make sure you're not putting loans in the door and locking the wrong way. Because if you are, then I'll just tell you to get the fuck out of here because you're screwing up my system. But dude, you perfect the process of a loan officer coming in, taking a really good 1003, locking a rate, and getting the fuck out of the way. Watch your profit margins go up because you don't have buybacks and because of all this crappy fraud, because you got a loan officer collecting paperwork for a file that he's about to get compensated on. Like there's an ethical issue just right there. Right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, the guy making the most money shouldn't be the guy cross-checking all the T's and dotting the I's. It just does not make sense.
Right.
But that's the way the business is structured. That's why it's so toxic. And that's why like all these banks fail. So yeah, man.
Nice.
But if you convert your model and you walk up to a loan officer and you change people's lives because they come over and they literally come in, take a 1003, lock a rate. Maybe you put them through my program and you're like, we put you through one of the best coaching programs. We cover half of it. Whatever. Make them pay for it. Otherwise, they're not going to do it.
Right. Right.
And all you do is go to coaching, go lock loans, and then go get more. That's it, man. And I'll pay you 1.25% on every, and just put them in a tiered system. I'll pay you 1.25% on everything you do. All you're going to do is lock loans. If you can make 2, well, I don't know what you can. I'm assuming you can make 2.25% on everybody.
LO side is maxed at 150.
150 total bips.
Yeah.
All right. So give them 1% of everything and don't make them do a single thing.
Yeah.
You make 50 extra biffs on another 50 million in volume across 10 guys. That's easy, dude. What I would probably do with that money is just hire more good staff so that I'm less and less and less involved. It's like, so here's my list of problems. Here's what I need to solve. Here's the things that I would give all my money away to make go away. And that's just fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
That's awesome.
Good call, man. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're in the course, man.
Yeah.
It's either this or go call 50 real estate agents today. What'd you do?
No, I mean, I talked to some real estate agents, but it's really just to answer a few questions here and there and the thing is, like, I built out my lead gen system is all my realtor partners. I have Card Tap, and it's, are you familiar?
Mm-mm.
So it's an app that's got my face on it and they co-brand on it, but it's got like share, refer us and stuff. And so they just send that to all of their leads. It comes in my system, and then me and my wife just call in, either send them an application or take an app over the phone.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing right now. And so I don't really, the only time we talk to realtors is when we're doing an event. The only other thing that my wife is doing right now that's a little bit different is every Thursday she does a class where she's training realtors on how to be professionals. But we have financial planners that are coming to that because it's, Todd Duncan. Yeah. So it's like his endless supply of referrals, like the sphere and how everybody's connected, and when you ask questions and stuff like that. So she teaches them how to get leads without paying for it. Yeah. And they send them all to us, so that helps. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the same thing as we're just kind of putting the people in place to remove, like, delegating all those problems that I don't have time to mess with so that I can focus on getting more business and getting some producing efforts.
Most people have all those problems that you have, and they don't have the money, Rob, to split and make it happen. Yeah. And then on the flip side of it, like, your biggest asset, which is very, very rewarding, is your wife, who can help make it rain, dude.
Yeah.
So it's
I've got her held back a little bit just because I'm not, like, I can't do everything that she could bring in just by herself.
From a production standpoint?
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't know anything about mortgages. She's a licensed LO, but she doesn't even know how to log into Encompass.
Yeah, good. That's fine.
But she doesn't need to, because I'm here and Elena's here. But if I hire somebody who's doing everything that we just talked about, I can do it, she can do it. And we've got a team here that's just like pumping out pre-approvals, like good pre-approvals. Yeah. And then we can bring people on to do that.
If I were you, I would try to find 2 juniors to shadow under your wife for business development.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would try to find 1 or 2 juniors under you to watch you structure deals and move them in efficiently so they never need to be touched again. Rarely. I would say less than 10% of my deals need to be touched twice by me. I'm getting clear to closes in a week, dude. And that's because we're just not busy.
Yeah.
So I would continue to evolve that concept. I wouldn't go and hire a loan officer that's responsible for growing his business and responsible for logging deals. I would have two teams, dude. Outside sales, inside operations, right?
Yeah.
And like, you team up and you match make no differently than you're building strategies. And I would just continue to grow the shit out of this thing. Your wife should be going through the course as well, honestly.
Yeah.
Learning how to build out relationships.
And she will be. We just, right now with, because of the new transition and the debt from the carryover, the setup of the new office, that kind of stuff, it's like getting the money to pay for it. Otherwise, I would have just put it all on the credit card up front. Yeah. But, and there's a little bit of lag on the pay and that kind of stuff. So And I'm getting paid twice a month now, which is weird for me, because I'm used to getting paid a month after on the 15th.
Yep.
And so we're like readjusting our budget and how we pay bills and all that kind of stuff. It's like a whole process to go through, but I mean, it'll be worth it with what we can do with it. It's just,
there's definitely an important factor to learning how to iron out the issues yourself, so that then you can at least oversee somebody taking over some of those responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, you could hire somebody for $50,000 a year or less to just deal with all the books. You got to find what you continue to be passionate about and just hone in on that and outsource and hold accountable on the rest. But yeah, you get an in-house underwriter who's basically like looking for the problems before they're problems and knows how to fight another underwriter. Dude, that's your sauce right there.